Synovus Energy Hub, Lloydminster's newest arena, was discussed at Council this week. A full timeline overview was presented to Council on Monday. This showcased the next 2 years in a more detailed light and also answered concerns on when development will finish.
Bottom line is, the question was asked, when will we expect a new facility? The goal today is the fall of 2025, but I think we can be realistic that we're going to continue to shoot for that goal, but we also have to live in a real world where supply chain challenges, weather, and all sorts of things. We could have the wettest year on record next year. I know the farmers would appreciate it, but that would bother our construction folks in the summer games and a few others.
The City of Lloydminster will be receiving quarterly updates on the ongoing development of the Synovus Energy Hub.
It's going to be important that we discuss what things are at, including the financial perspectives, and right now we're looking good on the budget at this point. Again, we're still early in the construction process, and I know tenders are going out on a regular basis, so we'll be being informed as those tenders come forward and what we're seeing.
And as we heard from the mayor earlier, as of today, the construction is expected to be finished by August of 2025, with a proposed opening date of the new arena being November 2025. And local school breakfast programs are benefiting today as residents fill up their gas tanks. It's Fuel Good Day once again at Lloydminster and District Co-op. 5 cents from every liter of fuel sold at Co-op gas bars in Lloydminster is going to help feed local students. The funds raised will be donated to the Lloydminster Catholic and Public School Division breakfast programs.
We would love to hit 10,000 this year. That'd be our goal. We have to date raised $50,000 over the past 7 years. Staff and students from schools in Hillmont, Neilburg, Kitscoty, and Marwayne are also holding barbecues at all Co-op gas bar locations, with the proceeds going directly to those schools' breakfast programs. It's part of our values as a cooperative. We want to continue to be be ingrained in the community and give back and help these schools and help kids have nutritious breakfast and be prepared to learn when they're.
And Abby St. John is here for a look at weather, and we saw a nice day today in Lloydminster, but I hear it's going to get a little cloudier tomorrow.
Yes, unfortunately the clouds are going to start rolling in this evening around 7 or 8 o'clock is when I saw that the clouds are going to start rolling in, and then tomorrow expect to have a cloudier day. But today it was fairly nice out.
Yeah.
You know, we had some sun peeking throughout most of today, and the temperature wasn't too bad. It was a little bit more on the windier side, but that 18 is not a bad temperature to be at, especially in mid to late September. So definitely not complaining about that. However, tomorrow definitely expected to be a little bit more overcast. Across the region in Alberta, similar temperatures to what we're seeing, which seems to be the trend. 18 in Vermilion and in Bonnyville and Cold Lake, and out in Vegreville. 17 in Provost, Wainwright, Marwayne, Lac La Biche, and St. Paul, and 16 out in Edmonton. And then on the Saskatchewan side, similar temperatures as well. 17 in Pearson, Green Lake, Meadow Lake, St. Walburg, 19 in Maidstone, 18 in Macklin, North Battleford, and Isle of Cross. Overnight tonight in North Battleford, they will also be experiencing cloudy conditions overnight tonight with a low of 4, so it's going to be on the cooler side. And then tomorrow will jump right back up to 19 degrees as your daytime high in North Battleford with a little bit of clouds, but for the most part it should be a very sunny day out. And then in Cold Lake, overnight tonight, it'll drop to 3 degrees as your evening temperature. Partially cloudy skies, so there will be a few clouds rolling in throughout the evening. And then tomorrow, a little bit mix of sun and cloud throughout the day with a high of 17 degrees. So it should be a fairly nice day out. And then here in Lloydminster overnight tonight, it will be cloudy. Like I said, the clouds should start rolling in around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, and it will be a cloudy evening with a low of 6. And then tomorrow, expect a very cloudy day out. Maybe we'll have a little bit of sun, but for the most part, it will be a very cloudy day with a high of just 17. So it's going to be on a little bit on the cooler side of things. Over the next 3 days here in Lloydminster, like I said, we will have a daytime high of 17 and a low of 3. And then on Thursday, we'll get a little bit more sun, a little bit of cloud coverage throughout the day, but definitely a lot more sun than what we're expected to see tomorrow, with a high of 19 and a low of 4. And then we jump right back into the 20s on Friday. A little bit of a breezy afternoon, but it should be a fairly sunny day with a high of 22 and a low of 6. And then, of course, we have our weather photo from Greg Mercer. Thank you so much for sending these beautiful sunset photos. They are great to see. This is from Bright Sand Lake again. So thank you so much, Greg, for sending in those photos. And if you'd like to see your photos on our show, please email us at weathers@stingray.com. But that is a look at your first weather forecast. I'll have a more in-depth look later on in the show.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, Abby. Stay with us. After the break, we will have a look at today's business news. Now it's time for us to move over to sports now. The Lakeland Rustlers women's hockey team hosted a car wash and barbecue over the weekend. Our Thomas Wildman has more on the fundraiser.
The Lakeland Rustlers women's hockey team were partnered up with Three Guys Truck Wash, where the team worked together to hand wash all of the vehicles that came through and also sell burgers and pop to raise funds for their upcoming season.
A great way to support the Lakeland Rustlers, the female hockey team. It's a fundraiser like we've done in the past through the community, and we're a small business, and so it's a great way that we can give back, you know, hosting our facility, allowing the players to come in, and little sweat equity, and at the end of the day, it's all for a good cause, and hopefully we can raise some money.
The Rustlers saw a tremendous turnout with loads of cars being washed from the very faithful fans here in Lloydminster, raising over $1,000.
It's tremendous, and we have a real loyal following, and a lot of those same people that support us in all that we do, and it's great to have something where our players are involved and able to be active in raising some funds for our team. So it's a win-win scenario.
The Lakeland Rustlers home opener will be on October 13th. Thomas Wildman, Primetime.
And now it's time for us to check in with Abby St. John for another look at your weather forecast.
Thanks so much, Jace. We are sitting at 18 degrees here in the border city. Clouds are going to start rolling in later on in the evening around 7 or 8, but expect a fairly cloudy evening and into tomorrow as well. But today we had a fairly sunny day with a little bit of cloud coverage, but for the most part it was fairly nice out. A little bit heavier wind, but with that 18 degrees, it still felt like a warm day, especially for this time of year. Across the region in Alberta, 14 in Red Deer and in Whitecourt, 13 in Rocky Mountain House and Edson, 16 in Edmonton and Athabasca, and 11 out in Jasper, and 18 up in Cold Lake. And then on the Saskatchewan side, 18 in North Battleford, 19 in Saskatoon, 17 in Meadow Lake and Prince Albert, and 13 in Melfort. And if we head up north in Saskatchewan, 18 in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows, 19 in Flin Flon and South End and in Stony Rapids, 13 in Uranium City, and 17 in Wollaston Lake. And then on the Alberta side, 19 in High Level and Fort Mac, 17 in Fort Chipewyan, 15 in Peace River and in Slave Lake, and 12 in Grand Prairie. And then down south in Alberta, 9 out in Banff, 13 in Calgary, 16 in Lethbridge, 18 in Medicine Hat, and Coronation is sitting at 15. And then on the Saskatchewan side, 18 in Moose Jaw and Kindersley, 17 in Yorkton and Swift Current, and 21 in Estevan. And then overnight tonight in North Battleford, it'll drop to 4 degrees and it'll be a very cloudy evening out tonight. So they're used to seeing some clear skies over the past few days, but tonight it will be cloudy overnight. And then overnight tonight in Cold Lake, a little bit of cloud coverage, but for the most part it should remain fairly clear. That temperature will drop to 3 degrees overnight tonight. And then overnight temperatures across the region, 3 degrees in Meadow Lake, 4 in Bonnyville and Paradise Hill, 7 in Isla Cross, and 5 out in Provost. And Provost experiencing some showers later on in the evening. For the most part, it should be cloudier everywhere else. And then more temperatures overnight tonight across the region. Mirnam and Wainwright sitting at 6 degrees, 2 in Pearceland, 7 in Unity, and 4 out in Calgary. And Wainwright and Calgary are expected to have some late night showers as well. And then here tonight in Lloydminster, like I said, it will drop down to 6 degrees and it will be a fairly cloudy evening. And the clouds should start rolling in around 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. And then over the next 7 days, we'll have a daytime low of 3 degrees tomorrow with that 17 as the high. On Thursday, we'll get that sun back out with a little bit of cloud coverage for the most of the day with a high of 19 and a low of 4. And then we jump right back into the 20-degree temperatures on Friday with a high of 22 and a low of 6. A little bit breezier of an afternoon, but for the most part, it should be fairly sunny. On Saturday, expect a very sunny day, a little bit of a breeze in the morning, but with a high of 20 and a low of 7. Same thing on Sunday, high of 20 and a low of 7 with a mix of sun and cloud, but it should be mostly sunny throughout the day. On Monday, to start your week off, again, a mix of sun and cloud, a little bit more breezy with a high of 21 and a low of 10. And then on Tuesday, again, a little bit of cloud coverage, mostly sunny skies with a high of 22 and a low of 12. So we do jump right back into those 20-degree marks following the next couple of days, which is great to hear. But that is a look at your 7-day forecast. Our Jace Mackey will have more news coming up after the break. I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for another edition of Pet Project, and we're back on Tuesdays. That was just a one-time thing. And today we have a gorgeous cat who looks like a lion. Her name's Holly Mary. Tell me a little bit about her story and how she came here.
So Holly has been here since July. She is quite the character. We've really gotten to see her personality now that she is healthy. She actually had a really rough start. So when she came in, she had some pretty bad injuries. She was found by a member of the public hanging out in an apartment stairwell, actually. But she came in with some infected wounds that needed to be cleaned out, and she had to be looked after by our medical staff for just over a month before she was completely healed and ready for adoption. So they've really gotten to know her well. She got used to kind of being our mascot and hanging out in the shelter and getting access to more areas than they usually do. So even though she's hanging out in our comfy cat cuddle area, she does like to bolt out front and go tour around and check things out often. But she's a really fun cat, definitely has a lot of personality, very cuddly, but also likes her space once in a while, likes to play, but seems to get along really well with the other cats in here, is pretty good with other dogs as long as they're calm and they give her her space. And yeah, we think she'd be good with kids as well. She seems pretty laid back enough for kids, but also likes to play with the cat wands, so.
Well, she is a sweetheart, I will say that, but she is a bit of an escape artist.
Yes.
She even escaped as soon as we got here today. So she's definitely, she loves adventure, for sure. But she is absolutely a sweetheart. We've seen her for the past couple of weeks when we've been in here, and she just, you know, she does her own thing, but she does really love affection, which is great to hear. And it's great that she's good with dogs, good with other cats, good with kids, so really open to really any family, which is fantastic.
She's pretty well-rounded that way. And as you can see, she'll come for cuddles, and then she kind of just does her own thing as she feels.
And then as soon as the attention's back on her, she's like, it's my time to shine. Definitely have that kind of personality, which is awesome. And how is she doing now health-wise, now that she's, you know, kind of out of that gray area?
Really great. Like, she has really flourished, and now that she's comfortable, you can see she's just moving around, likes to be up and looking out the window and observing outside. She really likes to watch the staff and the volunteers during the day. She's just a really nice cat, and she keeps touring around and rubbing on all her legs right now.
Yeah, she is perfect, which is great, and it's awesome that you guys were able to bring her back to a healthy lifestyle, because it would have been very tragic if, you know, you weren't able to.
Yeah.
So that's awesome, and she has a personality to fit.
Yeah.
So it's all around, she'd make the perfect pet. Now, coming up next week, I believe, is your first annual Walk for Paws. We've talked about multiple times. Now that we're kind of getting under the wire, how is everything going planning-wise and sign-up-wise and just details on the day?
Yeah, so it's this coming Saturday, the 23rd, and registration is at 10. Our walk's going to be at 11. We've received a lot of prize donations, so our volunteers are getting those ready. We're hoping to see a really good turnout. The weather's been really nice, so we're hoping it's going to hold out for our event. And we really want to see lots of families bringing their dogs out and enjoying a walk that's pet-friendly like that. So I really hope for a good turnout. We have quite a few people signing up for volunteering, so we're going to be reaching out to them to kind of fine-tune who's doing what that day to help us out. But yeah, there's going to be vendors like the Animal Hospital. We've got a charity barbecue happening. We're going to do some dog relay races and things like that. We're setting up a place challenge where dogs have to stay on like a raised bed in order to win prizes and stuff like that too. So there's going to be a lot of fun dog-related activities that the whole family can kind of enter and have fun with.
And it's very exciting that this is coming up, and hopefully it's a success and you guys can do it more every year, because I think it's awesome and, like you said, a great way for the family to come out and enjoy the outdoors. Your dog can enjoy the outdoors, get some exercise, and maybe win some prizes.
Exactly.
And maybe find a hidden talent of your dog that you've never known.
Exactly.
Which would be quite awesome as well. So hopefully that goes really well. Now we're getting out of summer. We're getting into fall, and I believe you have your fall photos coming up.
Yes.
Tell me about what that is.
So we've got some pictures coming up with natural light photography. Those are going to be held on the first Sunday in October from 4:30 to 6:30, and we've got the poster shared on our Facebook page as well. So they're going to be doing pet photos, kind of fall themed, and it's right next to the dog park with a nice green space at the church there. So it's a nice background of the fall leaves and everything. We do plan to have some adoptable dogs on site there, as well as at the Walk for Paws this weekend. So if anyone is interested in adding to their family, we will have a few dogs on site for those events too.
Which is awesome. And for the fall photos, can they just bring their pets in that time window? And then is there any cost to it, or kind of those technical details?
Yeah, so there's a donation for the photos that's going to be given to the SPCA. And when you come in, we will have staff and volunteers there to register people as they come in, or you can email ahead of time so we kind of have an idea of how many numbers are coming.
Now, same question as every week. What donations are you in need of for this week?
So we are looking for kitten and cat kibble. So we have quite a few cans, but we can always use some more dry food. Also looking for harnesses that fit over the neck, just because we find with the dogs we have lots of harnesses right now where it's the ones they have to step into, and when they're really excited to go on walks it can be difficult to get those on, so we prefer the ones that go over the head first, and also some long lines, so like 10 to 15 foot nylon leashes just for exercise and training the dogs.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me again.
Yes, thank you.
Holly was a fantastic guest, doing her own thing, but she is a sweetheart, so I have no doubt that she will find her forever home.
Exactly.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
I'm joined today here on Primetime Local News by Becky Domes. She's with the Lloydminster Honda, and we're talking about an exciting event that's coming back for its second year in a row, and it's a driver's ed event.
That's right. Yeah, it's an event that we put on. Last year was our first year, obviously. Our message is just to try and raise awareness around the hazards of impaired driving, distracted driving, in hopes of mitigating life-altering events in our community. Just keep our drivers a little bit safer and aware on the road.
Yeah, it's a very important message, a great message to get out there, especially for young people who are maybe just starting their journey as drivers. Can you take us through some of the stuff that's going to be taking place? It's going to be on this Saturday coming up here, and it's a free event as well, right?
It is, yeah, free to anyone that can come down and attend. It's on a first come, first serve basis, so you'll come to the tent, get signed up through the waiver, get your wristband, that kind of thing. Then you'll be guided through to our track where we have a very interactive course set up, so you'll actually be driving a car through a physical course. The first time around will be with some beer goggles on to simulate impaired driving, and then the second one, the instructor that's in the vehicle with you is basically doing his very best to distract you while you're driving. So the windshield wipers might turn on, he'll be trying to show you something on his phone, the navigation might be going off, typical day-to-day things that can happen. But throughout the course we have a variety of stop signs, yield signs, more difficult turns, that kind of thing, really just to try and indicate what it could be like with those potential impairments, and how it does distract your overall ability to drive safely.
Now, it seems like it would be a very eye-opening experience, especially for people who haven't been driving very often or just kind of getting into it. Can you talk a little bit about, you were saying this is or I was saying even, that this was the second year that you've done this. What was the idea behind it? Why did you decide to do something like this?
It's something that our general manager and our corporate office had talked about doing for a while. Last year was the first year that we really ran it, and it was a great success. We had a little over 100 participants overall. This year we are hosting it on the same day as the Enough Said Car Club season closer, also hosted in our lot. So we're expecting that number to double, if not more, for participants. So last year we focused more specifically on young drivers in our community, which of course, as you mentioned, is important to instill those good choices early in your driving career, but it's applicable to anybody. It's a good reminder for everyone. I know, if my phone is going off, or I'm trying to navigate in a city that I don't really know, or my son is asking me a bunch of questions from the back seat.
Distracting.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, it comes in a lot of different forms.
It does, yeah. So we want to address, the community as a whole, just enhance those safe driving practices and bring awareness overall. But we did reach out to a number of schools within an hour of the Lloydminster and surrounding area, in hopes of raising their awareness and ability to practice safe driving skills.
Now, I mentioned it's a free event. When does it start, and can people kind of just flow throughout the day, or how does that work?
Oh yeah, it's an all-day event. We'll be kicking off the driver's ed part of it probably around 9:30 in the morning. In terms of the car show, people start rolling in around 10 o'clock. So by noon, we'll be into the full swing of things. We have some vendors coming down. We have a pop-up pro shop that you can shop at. And then we also have a manufacturer sale going in the inside of the store as well. So it'll be a very busy day, and we're really looking forward to it.
Very exciting. There's a lot going on. Did I see as well that there's an opportunity to win prizes through the car show as well? Through
the car show, yeah. So we're expecting a little over 100 cars to enroll in this year's car show. There's competitions, there's fan-selected prizes. So anyone who attends the car show, they really become a part of it. You can vote for your favorite car in various categories, and judge some of the competitions as well.
And just one final question when we talk about the driver's ed. I'm assuming you need to either have your driver's license or a learner's to be able to take part in this.
That's exactly right, yeah. So a driver's license, or if you do have a learner's license, we'd love for learner's license attendees as well. Just make sure you bring a parent or guardian with you.
Perfect. Well, Becky, thank you so much for taking some time to talk about all of this with us today. It seems like it's going to be a great event on Saturday, and I wish you guys the best of luck, and fingers crossed that it's a success.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it.
Perfect. Thank you. And Abby, before we go tonight, some big news for people who use X, or Twitter, I guess. I still don't know what to call it yet. Elon Musk is suggesting that all users of that platform may soon have to pay to access the social media platform. In a conversation with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Musk said that paywalls were the only way to counter fake accounts and bots. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO said the app was moving to have a small monthly payment for use of the platform. So we'll see if that actually ends up happening, because I feel like Elon Musk does a lot of talking, but his actions may be a little different sometimes.
I think he's a little bit of a Looney Tune, honestly. It's a social media platform. If you charge people to use it, they're not going to use it. I don't use it. I don't use Twitter or X or whatever it's called. I think Elon Musk should stick to what he knows, and that's space.
And cars.
And cars,
Yeah,
and
electric
cars, of course. But social media, he should not even be touching
Yeah, stay
it.
away from it.
Yeah, I don't think it was smart of him to buy it.
But we'll see what happens, because there's always something new happening with Twitter. That's all the time we have for this edition of Primetime Local News. Have a great night, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow.